Welcome to the Confidence Igniter podcast, and I am your host. My name is Tamiko Green. Well, I tell you, time is going by so fast. We are in the heart of spring on our way to summer. And if you have a green thumb like me, or perhaps you just love to garden, it's probably the time you are watering those plants or watering your garden. But I have a question. Do you ever take time out to water the weeds? I'm going to ask that question again. See, I know a lot of us that have a green thumb or is have planted a garden. A lot of times you go out to your garden and you might see some weeds coming up, or maybe in your house plants you might see some weeds, which probably is rare for a house plant. However, when you're out there watering your garden or watering your plants indoors, have you ever watered the weeds? Now, you're probably saying to me, why would I water the weeds? Because whatever you water grows, right? Well, that's true. So today, I want to talk to you from the topic, pluck it out. Pluck it out. See, even though you may say, well, why would I water the weeds in my garden? Or why would I water the weeds in my plants? That's true because whatever you water grows. But are you watering the weeds of not good enough? Your thoughts, those negative thoughts that says, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. That they're not going to choose me. Think about that. Because you might be saying, well, how does that have anything to do with plants, right? Well, weeds is what strangle plants. If you have weeds in your garden or weeds in your indoor plants, and even if you have weeds that come up, if you have a driveway or know someone with a driveway and you see these weeds coming up through the concrete, what happens? It breaks the concrete, it damages it. It takes something that was perfectly fine and it makes it bad, right? So think about that from your thoughts. When you have negative thoughts, when you have the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, those thoughts keep you grounded. They won't allow you to move forward. And let me tell you, it takes confidence to be able to pluck things out that no longer serve you, and weeds have never served you. Now, you could say, well, yeah, they could. And they could if you allowed them to be the wind beneath your wings that cause you to soar higher in life. If the negative thoughts or the weeds that are in your life, you keep going down the road with them, you keep watering them, all they do is get bigger and bigger and bigger because what happens to your plants, indoor or outdoors, when you constantly nurture them? They grow bigger. If you have an indoor plant, it grows bigger and it just keeps growing and it flourishes. So think about weeds. When you have weeds in your head, your thoughts, those negative thoughts, the people that you allow to water those thoughts, those people that come and they tell you what you cannot do, or they say, girl, I wouldn't even try that, or man, I tried it, it didn't work for me. But did you really? But did they really try it? Because that's like saying, you know what, I want to lose some weight. And I got on that treadmill and I worked out for a whole hour on that treadmill. But guess what? I ain't lose nothing but some time. Well, one time doesn't work. True. And you will lose something. Okay. You might not necessarily see it, but you did burn calories. You lost some calories. So if you just do something once, you cannot expect change, but change start when you start. So when you start to look at or be more aware of the thoughts that you're keeping, your life starts to transform because anything that you water, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to grow. Anything that you continue to focus on, whatever you focus on, it manifests itself into your life. And if there are things in your life that when you look at your life and you say, I'm tired, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. Pluck it out. Pluck out the things that no longer serve you. And sometimes those things that no longer serve you are relationships that you have formed with other people. See, maybe you're moving in a different direction in your life. And those people that you have in your life right now, they're living a life that you have decided, I don't want to do that anymore. Pluck it out. I'm not saying they're weeds, but we do have some people that are actually weeds. All they know is the negative. Pessimist, they're not an optimist. All they see is the negative. I don't care how good things are, how good the weather is, how good things is just moving forward. They're gonna always look back to see the negative. But let me tell you, you cannot feed your destiny and your history at the same time. You just can't. And I'm going to say that again. You cannot feed your destiny. So my destiny is that I want a different lifestyle that I am nurturing. But at the same time, I'm looking back. You cannot do that because you'll never move forward because every time you go 2 steps forward, you're going 3 steps back. That means you in the hole. I'm going to say that again. Every time you move 2 steps forward, whenever you look back at your history, you just move 3 steps back. And now you in the hole. You got to pluck out that history. Now, I'm not saying your history is not, you can't learn from it, but you going back to something in your mind, you're wasting time. I'm going to say that again. You're going back to a space in your life that you can't even do nothing about. You're wasting time. Even if it's a relationship that went sour and you're beating yourself up to why? Why me? Why did I let them do that to me? Why did I this? Why did I that? All the whys in the world will not change that. The best thing you can do is learn from it. Because we all have had, well, a great deal of us, maybe all of us have not, but a great deal of people, including myself, have been in bad relationships. I've told you that. I've had an episode where I talked about, being in an abusive relationship, but I'm not going to let anything stop me. And I suggest you don't let nothing stop you either. Because if God don't stop you, you sure don't let man stop you. You find a way. I had to find a way out of that relationship. My way was the express train to the United States Army. And I'm not telling you go join the Army. That's not what I'm saying. But for me, when I get sick and tired of being sick and tired of something, I got to go. Okay. Or if I don't go, it goes. It doesn't matter. Like I got to move it or move around it. But once again, that's called plucking it out, plucking out something negative. Even as if it's on your job, if there's something that you're going through on your job, you got to pluck those thoughts out and see things differently, or you got to move on. As they say, keep it moving, keep it stepping. That's a choice that you have to make in your life. What do I do? What do I do when I'm surrounded by a bunch of weeds? Don't feed them. What do I do when I got friends in my life that are weeds? Cut them down. Like, I'm not saying physically go take something and cut a person. I'm just saying you got to let them go. You got to be willing to move forward because guess what? In the new life that you are building for yourself, you'll find new friends. You'll find people that's more like you now or think more like you. You'll find people that's doing it, that's moving, that figured out, you know what, there's more to life than what I'm giving myself. And here's the thing, our thoughts is our GPS. Our thoughts is what builds us. Our thoughts build our life. I don't know if you ever remember, it's a show, so depending on how old you are, it was a kid show called Bob the Builder. I don't know if you remember Bob the Builder, but I like Bob the Builder because I'm a kid at heart. So, but Bob the Builder was always building something. And here's the things, each of us are builders. We're either building a future for ourselves or we're tearing it down. We either building good relationships or we're building not so good relationships. Either we're building our finances or we're burning our finances. What are you building in your life that perhaps you need to pluck it out if it's not what you really want? See, you are the producer, the operator, the judge, the jury of your own life. Now you can look out into the world and you can blame everything because of where you are in life, but it's not. It's your own thinking. And it takes a lot of confidence to look at your life and look at yourself. As Michael Jackson said, start with a man or woman in the mirror. It takes a lot of confidence to look up and say to yourself, it's me. It's not them. We're good at pointing fingers, but my mother used to always say, when you point the finger, you got always one pointing back at you. So it's not about them. It's really about the thoughts you keep. And if you are a believer or you believe in something, you gotta, if you read the Bible clearly say to renewing your mind. Renewing, that means a daily process will transform your life. Guard your mind. Because if you didn't need to guard your mind, why would it say so? Why would the manufacturer that made you tell you to guard your mind? To be careful of what you allow to go into your mind, because as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you're thinking weeds, you're going to have weeds in your life. I remember years ago, I heard someone talking. I was in a conversation with someone, and we were talking about that particular verse that says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So they said, "Well, so you're saying if I think like a pig, I am a pig." I say, "I guess so. Maybe you got piggish ways." But all I'm saying to you is, you have the power to pluck out the things in your life that just no longer serve you. Life is good and getting better. Now, you may say, that's not for me, Tamiko, but there's that weed again. There's that weed. No one said that the road would be easy. No one said that you wouldn't have challenges. Look, challenges, I always say it is nothing but weights. They're barbells. They help you to build your faith. It helps you to build your faith, to give you the confidence that you can walk through fire if that's what you need to do. All I'm saying is take time out and think about, what are you thinking? Pluck out the things, the thoughts, the people, whatever it is that no longer serve you. And they probably never served you in the beginning, but that's you was like, hey, that's my friend, or I like doing this. But you know what? Life is short. You could live to 100 and some years old. To me, it's short because I would like to live forever. And the only way I can live forever is to do things that impact other lives, other people's lives, as well as my own, and leave a legacy. So I hope every time I come on this podcast that somebody is impacted, that I'm helping someone to make a difference in their life and perhaps passing it on to help someone else. While you're here, live your greatest life. Take time out to pluck out those thoughts or the things that is not serving you. Think about where it is that you want to go in life. Think about what it is that you want to do in life, because you have the power. You are the gardener. You are the farmer. No one is, as they say, coming to save you when you have the ability to save yourself. Think a new thought. Think a thought that grows a garden that you can eat off for years and years to come, or a tree that will bloom the most beautiful fruit, or the most good tasting fruit. Let me say that. You have the power to build a life that just make you smile, that make you say, man, I did it. I did it. Finally did it. Pluck out the things that no longer serve you. I'm telling you, renew daily. Renew your thoughts daily, because weeds will grow. But if you don't water them, guess what? Eventually they die off because they're not getting any water, at least not from you. Well, this has been today's episode titled Pluck It Out. Yes, pluck it out. Don't forget. Pluck it out. Pluck it out. Walk around town saying, pluck it out. I gotta pluck it out. I gotta pluck it out. Go pluck out those weeds. Go pluck out those things that no longer serve you. Well, before I go, I just want to take time out to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. And also, don't forget every third Saturday at Fortified City Christian Church, 2744 Canton Road in Marietta. They have their food distribution. So if you are in need of food, please don't forget. So they're there from the hours of 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Until we meet again, take care. Have a great day.